we're going to be talking about thermostats. So there are three main thermostats that most people have. Those are Ecobees, those are Nests, or those are Honeywell of some sort. There's three different models of the Honeywell thermostat that I actually relatively enjoy using or installing, just because of how simple and how easy they are to use. And the higher up we go, the more capabilities and accessibility they have to a lot of different things. So Honeywell is great. Honeywell's been around forever. They do more than just thermostats. I'm sure everyone's aware of what they do. They have stuff like zone boards. They have stuff like electronic air cleaners. They have filters. They do more than just HVAC related stuff too. They have stuff in the plumbing industry. As far as I know, Honeywell's been around for a while. So they have their fingers in everything and all the different bowls. What we want to look at is just the thermostat side of things. So there's three different thermostats that I really like to use depending on the situation and depending on the customer. So if the customer wants something super basic, there's something called the Focus Pro 6000. It's super simple. It's a minimum of 3-wire, which is R, G, and W. If they do have cooling, you can do R, W, and Y, which I can do a whole nother video of why thermostats are wired the way that they are and what the industry standard should be if it's not already. So R is essentially your power, W is your heat, G is your fan. So for those that have like just a gas furnace, small house, whatever, it doesn't matter, we're looking at Focus Pro 6000. It's probably as complicated as they need to be. That turns it on, turns it off, calls it good. G is your fan, so we want to make sure that if they want cooling, or if they want something just to circulate the air in the house, they can with that fan feature. The next step up is called the T6 thermostat. It's the Honeywell T6. It's got 4 or 5 buttons on the bottom, and it works with heat pump setups. T6 is great. It's a little more, I wouldn't say complicated, but it looks a little bit better than the Focus Pro does. It doesn't have the green screen or the gray screen or the green LED or whatever. It doesn't have that. It's a digital LED screen. It lights up. You can also set a schedule on that. They're great. I like them a lot. They're not super complicated to use. The programming is a little, I wouldn't say difficult, but it's definitely different because they use codes and numbers to determine what your settings are, and you have to always use a book unless you got that shit memorized and locked down. I have yet to do that. Next step from that up is my absolute favorite. It's called the Vision Pro 8000 or the T8. I like to use the Red Link version. It is considered the wireless. It's a non-Wi-Fi, but it's a wireless version. So there are different things that you can use with it. So for example, to become truly wireless, to where you don't have to have it mounted on the same spot in the wall or wired on the wall, what you can do is there's something called an equipment interface module, and maybe one of these days, maybe during my lunch, I'll do a breakdown of all this Red Link stuff. But there's an interface module that you take and you mount on the side of the furnace, and you wire it directly to the furnace. Then you take your thermostat that's battery powered and you wirelessly connect it once you're at that point of setup, and you wirelessly connect it to the module, and that way you can control the furnace and AC or whatever you've got directly from the thermostat wherever it's at. It's got a 200-foot range. It's great. I absolutely love it. That module is obviously an additional thing. It's an accessory. It's not needed to make the thermostat work because you can still wire it like normal. The other thing that Honeywell has for the Red Link system is called indoor air sensors. They're wireless, so you can take them. They're 2 lithium AAA batteries. You plug those in, and then you hit connect, and you wirelessly connect them to your thermostat. They are an indoor air sensor that can be put anywhere in the house, and your thermostat will actually take that sensor's temperature and average it with the temperature coming from the thermostat ambient temperature around. So if it's, let's say it's 75 in one room and it's 70, let's actually do 69 by the thermostat, then it's going to be an average of 72 or 73 or whatever is what the thermostat's going to say. So then the system's going to heat or cool to whatever the thermostat reads on the front, the big 2 numbers. So when you're doing that indoor sensor is pretty great. Then in order to get emergency cutoffs and temperature cutoffs for heat pump systems, you want to have an outdoor air sensor, because there's no way for it to be able to cut stuff off without knowing what the outdoor ambient temperature is. So there's a wireless outdoor air sensor that you can hook up that'll determine cutoffs and all that. If you're in an area where it's pretty mild and it's pretty much the same, you have maybe a 10-degree difference throughout the winter time, don't worry about that, because you don't have to worry about freezing temperatures or anything like that. So but yeah, that's Honeywell in a nutshell. This video is a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I'll definitely be doing a video on the breakdown of those and looking at what they actually look like, and maybe one of these days, if a customer pays for the whole RedLink setup, I'll go through and make a video on how to like program everything, make sure everything is all set up properly.